Have you ever stopped to think that everything you're experiencing now, all these difficulties and waiting periods, might be preparation for something much bigger that's about to arrive in your life? What if I told you that there are clear signs, real proof that the universe is organizing a special new stage for you, Libra, and that this phase will completely transform your reality? Pay close attention, because in this video I'm going to show you 9 concrete proofs that God is preparing something extraordinary for your life, and you need to be attentive to recognize each of these divine manifestations that have already begun to appear in your path. Do you know that feeling that something is changing inside you, even if you can't see anything different on the outside yet? That's no coincidence. What you're feeling are the first waves of transformation arriving, even before the physical change happens in your life. And for those born under the sign of Libra, this moment is even more special, because the universe is aligning situations, people, and opportunities that will finally put you in the place you've always deserved to be. But there's something important you need to know. If you don't recognize these signs, if you let the divine signals you're placing before you go unnoticed, you might miss the perfect timing of this new phase. And look, when cosmic energy aligns to open doors in a Libra's life, when God decides that your time to prosper has arrived, you can't be distracted or skeptical. You need to be prepared, attentive, and with an open heart to receive. So stay with me until the end, because each of these 9 tests will help you understand exactly where you are on this spiritual journey and how to prepare to receive all the best that is coming. I'm going to show you signs that you may already be seeing, but haven't understood the true meaning of. And the most powerful test of all, the one that confirms your turning point is near, I will only reveal at the end of this video. You can't miss it. First test. The necessary isolation you are feeling. Libra, the first sign that God is preparing a new stage for you is this deep desire to be alone. This wish to distance yourself a little from the people and situations that previously seemed so important in your life. And look, this might even be scaring you a bit, because those born under the sign of Libra generally love being surrounded by people. They love company, conversation, and balance in relationships. So when you start to feel this need to be more alone, to withdraw, to not want as much social interaction as before, it may seem like something is wrong. But let me tell you a truth. This isolation is not punishment. It's not loneliness in the bad sense of the word. This distancing you are feeling is a divine strategy. It's the universe taking you out of circulation for a while to prepare you internally for something much bigger that is to come. Think about it. When an athlete is about to compete in an important event, they go through a period of concentration, distancing themselves from distractions, focusing solely on training and mental preparation. That's exactly what's happening to you now. The divine is placing you on this spiritual retreat, even though you are still living your normal life, working, fulfilling your obligations. But internally you are in a process of withdrawal, introspection, and deep energetic cleansing. And do you know why this is necessary? Because the new stage being prepared for you demands a different version of who you are today. It demands more spiritual maturity, more clarity about who you really are, and more firmness in your decisions. During this period of isolation, you are learning things about yourself that you never realized before. You are discovering strengths you didn't know you had. You are seeing more clearly which people truly deserve to be by your side, and which ones were just taking up space in your energy. You are better understanding your own limits, your needs, your true desires. And all of this is fundamental for what lies ahead. Because look, if you entered this new phase without this inner preparation, without this greater awareness of who you are, you could end up repeating the same mistakes of the past, accepting situations that no longer deserve to be part of your reality, settling for less than you deserve. The universe knows exactly what it's doing. This time of apparent solitude is not empty. It's not a waste of time. Quite the opposite. It's the most productive moment of your spiritual journey, because it's when you're building solid foundations within yourself to support all the blessings that are coming. Think of a house that's going to be built. Before raising the walls, before putting on the roof, you need to lay a strong foundation, hidden underground, unseen, but essential to keep everything standing. This isolation you're experiencing is your foundation being fortified. And there's one more important thing. During this period, you're also getting rid of old energies that no longer serve you. People who previously had easy access to your life are naturally distancing themselves. Situations that once held you back are losing their power, and habits that don't do you any good are becoming easier to let go of. All of this is part of the cleansing that needs to happen before the new arrives. It's like when you're moving house. Before putting in the new furniture, you need to remove everything that's old, clean the environment well, and prepare the space. The divine is preparing the space in your life, clearing everything that needs to go so that new things can enter without encountering obstacles. So if you're feeling more isolated lately, if you realize you no longer want to participate in certain things, be in certain places, or spend time with certain people, understand that this is a positive sign. It's proof that you're being prepared for something better. And when that new phase arrives, when you finally enter this stage that God is organizing for you, you will perfectly understand why this time of withdrawal was necessary. You will look back and be grateful for each day that passed in this process of inner transformation. Second test. The revealing dreams that are coming. The second sign that the universe is preparing a new stage in your life, Libra, is happening while you sleep. That's right. Your dreams have changed, becoming more intense, more vivid, more full of meaning. And if you pay attention, you'll realize that they aren't those confusing and meaningless dreams we usually have. They are dreams that seem like messages, that bring strong sensations, that stay in your memory even after waking up, that make you think about them all day long. These revealing dreams are one of the most powerful ways the divine uses to communicate with you, to show you pieces of the future that is being built, to prepare you emotionally for the changes that are coming. Often in these dreams you see situations that seem impossible in your current reality. You see yourself living differently in different places with different people. You see achievements you haven't yet reached, accomplishments that seem distant. And when you wake up, you might even think it was just your imagination creating fantasies, that it was just your mind processing desires and wishes. But that's not it. These dreams are visions of what is being prepared for you on the spiritual plane. They are images of the future that already exists in a higher dimension and is about to manifest in your physical reality. The universe works like this. First it happens in the spiritual realm, then it materializes in the physical. So when you dream of a better life, of prosperous situations, of important achievements, you're not just dreaming. You're capturing the energy waves of this future that has already begun to be built for you. It's as if you were watching the trailer of a movie that's about to premiere in your life. And these dreams also serve to accustom your mind, your energy, your vibration to these new realities. Because if suddenly everything changed in your life without any preparation, without any warning, the shock could be too great. So the divine shows you little by little through dreams, so that you can become familiar with the idea of a different, better, more abundant life. Pay attention also to dreams that bring warnings, that show situations you need to avoid, people you need to distance yourself from, paths you shouldn't follow. These are also important messages, divine protections arriving through the world of dreams. The universe is guiding you, showing you both what you should seek and what you should avoid. And for those born under the sign of Libra, who naturally already have a strong intuition, this communication through dreams becomes even clearer, even more direct. You just need to learn to pay attention, to value these nightly messages, to write down what you remember when you wake up, to reflect on the symbols and situations that appear. There's an important detail. Dreams often don't show everything literally. They use symbols, metaphors, and situations that represent other things. For example, you might dream that you're flying, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get on a plane or anything like that. It could mean freedom, growth, spiritual elevation, expansion of your life. You might dream of clean and abundant water, and that could represent financial prosperity, emotional cleansing, spiritual renewal. So don't interpret everything literally. Feel what the dream awakened in you, what emotions it brought, what feeling remained when you woke up. This is usually more important than the specific details of what happened in the dream. And there's more. You may also be having dreams about people who have passed away, family members or friends who are no longer on this plane. These spiritual visits are not a coincidence. These are the people who love you, who protect you from the spiritual plane, coming to bring comfort, guidance, and strength for you to continue. They know you are going through a phase of transformation and come to remind you that you are not alone, that there is a whole spiritual support system taking care of you, guiding your steps, preparing your path. Give thanks for these visits, talk mentally with these presences, ask for guidance before you sleep. So starting today, begin paying more attention to your dreams. Keep a notebook by your bed to write them down as soon as you wake up, because dreams tend to fade quickly from memory. Reflect on the messages you are receiving. And above all, have faith that through these dreams the universe is showing you that something very special is being prepared for you. Each revealing dream is further proof that your new stage is approaching. Third evidence. The end of old cycles happening now. Libra, the third powerful sign that God is preparing a new phase for you, is something that may be causing you some pain, some sadness, but is absolutely necessary. The end of old cycles that no longer serve your growth. And when I talk about the end of cycles, I'm talking about several things at once. These could be relationships that are coming to an end, friendships that are drifting apart, jobs that are ending, situations that you worked so hard to maintain but that seem to be crumbling. And I know that hurts. I know there are times when you look at all of this ending and feel a tightness in your chest, a sense of loss, of emptiness, of fear of what lies ahead. But I need you to understand a fundamental spiritual truth. Nothing ends in your life by chance. Nothing falls apart without a divine reason behind it. When something comes to an end, it's not because you failed, it's not because you weren't good enough, it's not because the universe is being cruel to you. It's exactly the opposite. It's because you've evolved so much that you no longer fit in those spaces, those situations, those energies. It's like clothes you wore as a child that no longer fit. It's not because the clothes became worn out, it's because you grew. And you can't continue growing if you insist on wearing clothes that have become too small for you. Think about how many times you've tried to salvage situations that clearly had no solution. How many times have you struggled to keep people around who had already fulfilled their role in your story? How many times have you held on with all your might to things that were naturally wanting to leave your life? This happens a lot with Librans because you have this natural gift for seeking balance, for wanting everything to work out, for trying to make things work even when they no longer do. But there comes a point when the universe is saying, enough, now you need to let go, you need to trust that what is ending needs to end to make room for the new. And look how interesting, at the same time that these old cycles are ending, you are also noticing changes in the way you see things. Situations that used to bother you a lot now you observe with more tranquility. People who used to drive you crazy no longer have that power over you. Places where you used to go and feel good no longer arouse the same interest. All of this is a sign that you are vibrating at a different, higher frequency. And when you raise your vibration, you automatically disconnect from everything that vibrates at a lower frequency. Spiritual physics, it's a universal law. So these endings that are happening aren't punishments, they aren't real losses. They are necessary cleansings. They are divine hands removing from your life everything that would hinder the arrival of blessings. Because imagine if you entered your new phase still carrying the weight of toxic relationships, of commitments that drain your energy, of situations that don't allow you to grow. You wouldn't be able to fully enjoy it, you wouldn't be able to fly as high as you can. It would be like trying to run a marathon carrying a sack of stones on your back. That's why the universe is relieving you of this burden now. It's releasing the weights, it's freeing you. And there's something you need to understand about how Libra deals with endings. You tend to look back a lot, dwelling on what's over, wondering if you could have done something differently. Stop doing that. Look ahead. Trust that what's in the past has already served its purpose, has taught you what it needed to teach, has contributed what it could to your growth. Now it's time to be grateful for the experience, for the lessons, for the good times you had, and move forward with a light heart, open to the new. Because the new can't enter while you're clinging to the old. This phase of closing cycles can be painful. It can have difficult moments, tears, questions, sleepless nights thinking about everything that has changed. But this is also a healing process. Every tear you shed is washing away old hurts, cleaning wounds that needed to be touched to finally heal truly. And on the other side of this cleansing, after the storm passes, you will find a version of yourself that is stronger, lighter, more prepared to receive the extraordinary that is coming. If you're enjoying these revelations, if these proofs are making sense to your heart, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I want to know where in the world you're following these messages. Right. I'm watching from location. This helps me a lot to understand who is on the other side. And it also creates a very beautiful energy of unity among everyone who is on this spiritual journey. And if these messages are really touching your heart, if you feel that this content is making a difference in your life, consider becoming a channel member. Your support greatly helps in the continuation of this work, and we can bring even more special content to you. Fourth test. The inner restlessness that won't let you rest. The fourth sign that a new stage is being prepared for you, Libra, is that restlessness that's been taking over your chest, that feeling that you can no longer stay where you are, that you need to do something different, that your current life no longer satisfies you as it once did. It's a strange feeling because often you look at your life and see that objectively everything is fine, nothing essential is missing, you're not going through any serious crisis. But even so, there's an inner discomfort, a voice that keeps whispering that there's more, that you were made for something greater, that you can't be content with the same old thing, with the comfort zone, with mediocrity. This spiritual restlessness is a divine gift. It may not seem like it because it disturbs your peace, makes you question everything, prevents you from simply accepting things as they are. But that is precisely the intention. The universe is nudging you from within. It is igniting a fire in your soul. It is awakening in you the courage necessary to make important changes. Because if you were completely complacent, completely satisfied with everything as it is, you would have no motivation to take the necessary steps to enter the new phase that is prepared for you. You would remain stagnant, watching opportunities pass by without having the initiative to seize them. For those born under the sign of Libra, this type of restlessness can be particularly challenging because you like balance, harmony, and stability. So when you start to feel this inner turmoil, you might try to sweep it under the rug, try to ignore it, try to convince yourself that everything is fine and that you should be more grateful for what you have. And look, gratitude is important. Yes, you should be grateful for the blessings you already have. But gratitude doesn't mean complacency. You can be grateful for the present and still aspire to a better future. You can appreciate where you are while preparing to go further. This restlessness is also accompanied by a series of questions that begin to appear in your mind more frequently. You find yourself thinking, is this really what I want from life? Am I on the right path? Were the choices I've made so far the best ones? Isn't it time to try something different? Am I wasting my potential by staying in this situation? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are not an existential crisis in the negative sense. They are your higher spirit calling you to a higher level of existence, to a more authentic expression of who you really are. And do you know what happens when you ignore this restlessness for too long? It gets stronger, more intense, more impossible to ignore, until it reaches a point where the universe needs to create external situations to force you to change, since you're not listening to your inner calling. It could be an unexpected job loss, a relationship that ends suddenly, a health problem, anything that takes you out of that comfortable position and forces you to do things differently. So it's much better to listen to this restlessness now, while you can still make changes by your own choice, consciously and in a planned way, than to wait for life to push you towards change through more drastic situations. What the universe is trying to tell you through this restlessness is this: you have a greater destiny than the one you are living now. There is a much fuller, much more accomplished, much more prosperous version of yourself waiting to manifest. And this superior version of yourself no longer fits in the limited spaces where you are now. So you need to have the courage to expand, to leave your familiar little house, to explore new territories. Yes, this is scary. Yes, this is uncomfortable. Yes, you will have to deal with uncertainties and risks. But on the other side of this discomfort is the extraordinary life that was designed especially for you. This restlessness also pushes you to start doing practical things, not just staying in your thoughts. You might find yourself researching new courses, new fields of work, new places to live. You might start having different conversations with people who are living the kind of life you want to live. You might start organizing your finances differently, taking better care of your health, investing more in yourself. All of these are preparatory movements for the new phase. It's you responding to the divine call with concrete actions, showing the universe that you are ready, that you are willing, that you are available to receive the new. So don't fight this restlessness. Don't try to silence that inner voice that's calling you to more. Instead, be grateful for it, engage in dialogue with it, ask what it's trying to show you, meditate on it, ask the divine for guidance to understand what practical steps you need to take. And above all, trust that this feeling that you were made for something greater is not an illusion. It's not an inflated ego. It's the spiritual truth of your soul reminding you of your true potential, your greater purpose, the greatness that exists within you waiting to manifest in the world. Fifth test: increased sensitivity to energies and environments. Libra, the fifth sign that God is preparing something new for you, is the significant increase in your energetic sensitivity. You are noticing things that previously went unnoticed. You are feeling people's energies much more intensely. You can quickly identify when someone is not being genuine, when an environment is charged, when a situation is not good for you even if it seems calm at first. It's as if you have developed a more powerful, more refined spiritual radar, capable of capturing subtle frequencies that you couldn't perceive before. This happens because you are experiencing a significant vibrational elevation. And the higher your vibration, the more sensitive you become to all the other vibrations around you. It's like when you tune a radio to a higher frequency, and suddenly you can pick up stations that you couldn't before. You haven't changed location, the radio hasn't changed, but the frequency is different, and that makes all the difference in what you can perceive. The same thing is happening to you on a spiritual level. Your frequency is being raised, prepared for the new level of life that is coming, and as a consequence, you are capturing much more energetic information from the environment. This heightened sensitivity serves several very important purposes. First, it protects you. When you can sense that a person or situation is not good for you even before something concrete happens, you can distance yourself preventively, avoid problems, and spare yourself from negative experiences. It's like having an early warning system that alerts you to danger before it gets really close. How many times have you gone through bad situations because you ignored that first discomfort, that first strange feeling? Not anymore. Now you are more connected to your internal signals and can act accordingly. Secondly, this sensitivity helps you find the right people and situations for you. Just as you quickly sense when something isn't right, you can also identify when something is aligned with your well-being, when a person has good energy, when an opportunity is genuine. You develop a much sharper discernment about where to invest your energy, who to connect with, and which paths to follow. And this is fundamental for the new phase that is coming, because at this stage you will need to make important choices. You will need to recognize the right doors that are opening and distinguish them from doors that only seem good but that in reality would lead you to places that are not for you. But all this sensitivity can also be challenging at times. You might feel overwhelmed in crowded environments, tire more easily in social situations, and need more alone time to recharge. Places you used to frequent regularly might now leave you feeling uncomfortable and exhausted. This happens because you're absorbing a lot of energetic information and need to learn how to protect yourself, create energetic shields, and cleanse your energies regularly. Taking baths with coarse salt, spending time in nature, meditating, praying. All of this helps keep your energy field clean and protected. For those born under the sign of Libra, who are naturally sensitive to their environment and surrounding energies, this heightened sensitivity can be even more intense. You've always been the kind of person who senses the heavy atmosphere of a room as soon as you enter, who notices when something is wrong even if no one says anything, who picks up on unspoken messages in conversations. Now, this natural ability is amplified, working at much deeper levels. And this is very valuable because it transforms you into an extremely intuitive person, capable of navigating life with a wisdom that goes beyond rational logic. Another thing you might be noticing is that your intuition is much stronger. You have hunches that come true, sudden insights that turn out to be real. You know things about situations and people without anyone telling you anything. That's your intuition, your sixth sense, working at a higher level. And the more you trust this intuition, the more you act on it, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle that develops with use. So when you have a hunch, a strong intuition about something, don't ignore it. Pay attention, investigate, seriously consider what your inner wisdom is trying to communicate to you. This heightened sensitivity also allows you to connect more deeply with the divine, with higher energies, with your spiritual guides. You may begin to feel spiritual presences more clearly, receive guidance through thoughts that arise out of nowhere, and experience synchronicities more frequently in your life. All of these are signs that the channels of communication between you and the spiritual plane are more open and unobstructed. And this is essential for this new phase, because at this stage you will need to be well connected to this higher guidance to make the right choices and take advantage of all the opportunities that will arise. Sixth test. Awakening to your true purpose. The sixth powerful sign that a new stage is being prepared for you, Libra, is the awakening that is happening in relation to your life's purpose. You are beginning to understand more clearly why you truly came into this world, what unique contribution you can make, what difference you can make. And this understanding doesn't come like a bolt of lightning striking you all at once. It comes gradually, through perceptions that accumulate, experiences that reveal a pattern, interests that begin to make more sense together, and an inner voice that becomes increasingly clear about what you should be doing with your life. This awakening to purpose is one of the most precious gifts the universe can give you. Because many people spend their entire lives without ever truly discovering why they are here, what their special mission is, what unique talents they brought to share with the world. They live on autopilot, doing what society expects, following paths that other people have laid out, fulfilling roles that have been imposed, but never truly connecting with what makes their hearts vibrate at a higher frequency. When you begin to awaken to your purpose, everything changes. You gain a clear direction, a guiding light, a powerful reason to wake up every day wanting to live fully. And look how interesting. Often your purpose is related to things you've always enjoyed but never taken seriously. It could be that hobby you've had since childhood, that subject that fascinates you and that you can spend hours studying without getting tired, that kind of help you naturally offer to people and that they always appreciate very much. Could be that skill that seems so natural to you, so easy that you think everyone can do it, but which is actually a special gift of yours. Purpose is usually hidden in what you do with joy, in what makes you feel alive, in what connects you with a greater sense of meaning. For Librans, this purpose is often related to creating harmony, mediating conflicts, helping people find balance, and bringing beauty to the world in some way. This could be through art, music, decoration, or design. It could be through counseling, therapy, coaching, or any activity where you help people solve their problems and find peace. It could be through justice, advocacy, or fighting for causes that bring more balance to society. Whatever the specific form, it likely involves using your natural Libran gifts to make the world a better, fairer, and more harmonious place. And when you begin to align your life with that purpose, when you start dedicating time and energy to developing those talents, to exploring those areas that call to you, something magical happens. Doors begin to open in unexpected ways. Opportunities appear. The right people cross your path. Resources you need become available. It's as if the entire universe conspires in your favor when you are walking in the direction of your true purpose. Because when you are aligned with your soul's mission, you are automatically aligned with the divine flow, with the natural current of life, and everything becomes easier, more fluid. But there's a significant challenge in this process. Often your purpose will ask you to do things that scare you, that take you out of your comfort zone, that seem risky or impossible. It might ask you to leave that secure job and try something new. It might ask you to invest time and money in developing a skill. It might ask you to expose yourself in ways you're not used to. And that's where the test of your faith, your courage, and how much you truly trust that you were placed here with a specific mission, and that the universe will support you when you take the necessary steps to fulfill that mission comes in. Awakening to purpose also brings a sense of responsibility. When you understand that you have special gifts, that you can make a difference in people's lives, that you have something important to contribute, it becomes harder to continue hiding, diminishing yourself, settling for less than you can be. You feel a calling to grow, to develop, to fully express who you are. And this can be a burden at times. It can bring anxiety about not doing enough, not going fast enough. But always remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Every small step you take towards your purpose already counts, already makes a difference. This new stage being prepared for you is all about living your purpose more fully. It's about creating conditions in your life so you can dedicate more time, more energy, and more resources to what truly matters, to what you came here to do. This might mean significant practical changes, changing jobs, cities, or lifestyles. It might mean internal changes, developing more courage, more self-confidence, more specific skills. Whatever it is, trust that you are being guided, that each insight you have about your purpose is a piece of the map being revealed to you. Seventh test, the natural removal of negative energies. Libra, the seventh sign that God is preparing a new phase for you, is something that is happening almost automatically in your life. People, situations, and negative energies are moving away from you without you having to make much effort. It's as if there's an invisible shield around you that no longer allows certain low energies to get close. Those people who always came to unload their problems on you, who drained your energy, who only appeared when they needed something, are disappearing naturally. Those situations that always put you in conflict, that stressed you out, that took away your peace, are losing strength and disappearing from your reality. This is no coincidence. It's a direct consequence of the vibrational elevation you're experiencing. When you raise your frequency, when you begin to vibrate at a higher energy, you automatically create an incompatibility with everything that vibrates at low frequencies. It's quantum physics applied to spiritual life. Very different energies cannot coexist in the same space for long. One needs to leave or needs to rise to match the other. And since these people and situations are unwilling or unable to raise their frequency, the only way is for them to move away from you. And look how different this is from other times in your life when you tried to get rid of negative people or situations. Do you remember how many times you tried to cut off toxic relationships and then went back to them? How many times did you want to get away from heavy environments but ended up being pulled back? How many times did you promise yourself that you wouldn't accept certain treatments anymore but ended up giving in? This happened because you were still vibrating at a frequency that was compatible with those energies, so even though rationally you wanted to get away, energetically there was still a connection, a resonance. Now it's different. Now the separation is happening on an energetic level first, and then it manifests on a physical and practical level. You no longer need to fight so hard. You no longer need to make a gigantic effort to keep your distance from energies that don't do you good. They simply can no longer get close because there is no longer vibrational compatibility. It's like trying to mix oil and water. No matter how much you try to mix them, they will always separate because they have different, incompatible essences. This natural distancing is also happening with negative mental and emotional patterns you carried. Those repetitive thoughts of self-criticism, that tendency to always expect the worst, that habit of comparing yourself to others and feeling inferior, that constant feeling of not being good enough. All of this is losing power. You may even notice that when these thoughts try to appear, they no longer have the same hold over you. It's easier to identify them as lies. It's easier to replace them with better thoughts. It's easier not to be carried away by them. For someone born under the sign of Libra, who has always had this characteristic of seeking to please, avoiding conflict, and trying to keep everyone happy, this natural distancing from negative energies is especially liberating. Because you no longer need to feel guilty about setting boundaries, you no longer need to justify not wanting to be around certain people, you no longer need to carry the burden of trying to save relationships that no longer work. The universe is doing this work for you. It is cleansing your energy field. It is removing everything that no longer serves your growth. And there's a bonus to this process. While negative energies are leaving, space automatically opens up for positive energies to enter. You'll notice that you start attracting different people, more evolved, more positive, more aligned with who you are becoming. Better situations begin to appear. More interesting opportunities arise in your path. It's the law of spiritual vacuum. When you remove what is negative, the positive naturally fills the empty space. This is a very clear sign that you are being prepared for something better. Think about it. If you entered this new phase of your life still surrounded by people who drag you down, still involved in situations that drain your energy, still trapped in negative mental patterns, how could you fully enjoy the blessings that are coming? How could you soar high carrying all that weight? That's why the divine is doing this deep cleansing now, before the doors of prosperity open completely. It is relieving you of the burden, removing obstacles, preparing the ground so that you can receive and sustain all the good that is to come. 8th test. Synchronicities multiplying in your life. The 8th powerful sign that a new phase is being orchestrated for you, Libra, is the synchronicities that are happening with increasing frequency in your life. Synchronicity is when things that should be random coincidences happen so perfectly, so well fitted, that you know it can't just be chance. It's when you think of someone and they call you right after. It's when you need specific information and someone mentions exactly that in a casual conversation. It's when you're thinking about making a change and suddenly 3 opportunities related to it appear on the same day. These synchronicities are the universe's way of showing you that you're on the right path, that you're aligned with the divine flow, that you're in tune with the frequency of your blessings. Each synchronicity is like a wink from the universe saying, I'm here, I'm watching you, I'm guiding you, you're being cared for. And the more attention you pay to these synchronicities, the more you recognize and appreciate them, the more they appear. It's as if you're strengthening a channel of communication with the divine through the recognition of these signs. For those born under the sign of Libra, synchronicities often come through encounters with people. You need advice on a particular subject and suddenly meet someone who works in that exact field. You're thinking about changing careers and unexpectedly receive a referral for a perfect job. You have an important question and overhear a random conversation on the street that answers your question exactly. These are not coincidences. They are divine arrangements, pieces being placed in the right spot, so that you can make the necessary moves towards your new reality. Synchronicities also appear through numbers you see repeatedly. You might start noticing the same time every time you look at the clock. Certain numbers might frequently appear on license plates, receipts, or messages. In spiritual numerology, these repeated numbers are considered messages from angels, signs that you are being guided. For example, seeing the number 1 a lot can mean new beginnings, the number 3 can represent creativity and expansion, And the number 7 is related to spiritual development. Pay attention to the numbers that appear repeatedly to you, because they may be carrying important messages. Another form of synchronicity is the music you hear at the right time. You're going through a specific situation and you turn on the radio, and the song playing speaks exactly to what you're experiencing. Or you need confirmation about a decision, and a song with the perfect message plays in the place you enter. It may seem silly, but these are not coincidences. Music is a very powerful form of spiritual communication because it touches the emotion directly, the heart, and can transmit messages that the rational mind sometimes cannot grasp. Synchronicities also happen through dreams that connect with waking life. You dream about something specific and the next day something related happens. Or you dream about a person you haven't seen in years, and they appear or contact you soon after. These are bridges between the spiritual world and the physical world, confirmations that there is a greater reality orchestrating the events of your life, that nothing happens by pure chance, that everything has a purpose, a timing, a divine reason. When synchronicities begin to multiply in your life, as is happening now, it's a sign that you are entering a period of great cosmic alignment. It means that your spiritual plans are approaching the moment of manifestation on the physical plane. It's like when you turn on a radio and adjust the tuning, and little by little the sound becomes clearer, less noisy, until it finally picks up the station perfectly. Synchronicities are indicators that your connection with the divine is becoming clearer, more precise, and stronger. And there's a very powerful practice you can do. Start writing down the synchronicities that happen in your life. Keep a journal where you record these magical moments, these meaningful coincidences. Over time, you'll see a pattern forming. You'll better understand how the universe communicates specifically with you, what kind of signs it uses most, in what situations they appear. And this record also serves as an anchor of faith in the most difficult moments. When you're going through a period of doubt, you can go back and read all those times when the universe gave you clear signs, and this will renew your confidence that you are being guided, that you are not alone, that something greater is taking care of your path. Ninth proof. The growing feeling that something big is coming. And we arrive at the ninth and final proof that God is preparing a new stage for you, Libra. And this is perhaps the most powerful of all. That deep feeling, that inner certainty that something very big is about to happen in your life. It's a feeling you can't explain rationally, you can't prove with concrete facts, but it's there, firmly in your chest, telling you that an important turning point is coming. It's as if your spirit is already feeling the energetic waves of this new reality approaching, even if your physical eyes can't yet see anything different happening. This feeling is different from simple hope or desire. Hope is when you want something to happen but aren't sure. This feeling you're having now is much deeper. It's a conviction, a wisdom that comes from a place beyond the rational mind. It's your higher self, your soul, your connection to the divine informing you that the celestial plans for you are ripe, ready to manifest. It's like when a pregnant woman feels that the baby is about to be born. She doesn't know exactly when, she doesn't control the exact moment, but she feels in her body that it's near, that new life is on its way. This premonition of a major change comes with a mixture of emotions. There's excitement, because you feel you're finally going to live what you've always wanted. There's anxiety because the new always brings uncertainties, and you don't know exactly what it will be like. There's fear because leaving the known for the unknown is scary, even when it's for the better. And there's hope, a renewed hope stronger than you've ever felt before, that life will finally surprise you positively, will finally give you what you deserve, will finally recognize your worth. For Librans, a sign that operates largely through intuition and subtle perception of energies, this premonition is often especially strong. You may not be able to put it into exact words, but you feel a different kind of agitation in the air, an electricity in the atmosphere of your life, as if the atmosphere were charged before a great storm, only in this case it's not a destructive storm, it's a storm of blessings, of opportunities, of achievements. It's the energetic climate that precedes miracles. And here's something important for you to understand. This feeling is not an illusion, it's not self-deception, it's not just your mind creating fantasies to make you feel better. It's real. It's as real as the other 8 proofs I showed you in this video. The difference is that this 9th proof happens at the level of feeling, not seeing or thinking. And our society has taught us to only trust what we can see and touch, what is concrete and measurable. But the spiritual truth is that things exist first on the energetic plane, on the plane of sensations and perceptions, and only then do they materialize on the physical plane. So when you feel that something big is coming, You are capturing the existence of this new reality before it becomes visible to the physical eye. This feeling also serves as psychological and emotional preparation for the changes that are about to happen. If your whole life suddenly changed overnight without any internal preparation, the shock could be overwhelming. You might not feel ready, you might panic, you might not be able to fully enjoy or even sabotage your own blessings because you don't feel deserving. But as this feeling gradually grows, as you get used to the idea that a better life is coming, when it finally happens, you will be more prepared to receive it, to adapt, to embrace the new without fear. There's something very important you need to do while this feeling is growing within you. Strengthen your faith. Nourish this inner certainty with positive thoughts, affirmations, prayers, and visualizations of the life you want to live. Don't let doubt, fear, or skepticism kill this sacred feeling. When negative thoughts come, when impatience strikes, when anxiety tries to take over, return to that deep feeling that something good is coming. Take a deep breath and reconnect with that spiritual truth your soul knows. And remember, the universe has perfect timing. You may feel it's taking too long, that it should have happened already, that you can't wait any longer. But everything has its right time, its ideal moment. A fruit picked before it's ripe doesn't have the sweet taste it should. Similarly, the blessings being prepared for you need to fully ripen before manifesting, so that when they arrive they are full, complete, perfect. So keep the faith, keep that inner certainty burning, and know that at the right divine moment, everything being prepared will reveal itself in your life in a more beautiful way than you can imagine now. So these were 9 powerful signs that God is preparing an extraordinary new stage for you, Libra. This necessary isolation you're feeling, the revealing dreams that are coming, the end of old cycles that no longer serve you, that inner restlessness that won't let you rest, the heightened sensitivity to energies and environments, the awakening to your true purpose, the natural distancing from negative energies, the multiplying synchronicities, and this profound feeling that something very big is about to happen. All these signs together form a very clear picture. You are being prepared to live a completely different and better reality than the one you live today. Now that you know these 9 signs, pay attention to them happening in your life. Recognize each sign, be grateful for each manifestation, strengthen your faith that you are being guided, cared for, and prepared by the divine. And above all, don't give up. Don't get discouraged on difficult days. Don't let doubt extinguish the flame of your hope. You are special, you have a grand destiny. You were created to shine and make a difference in this world. And this new stage that is coming will place you exactly where you need to be to fulfill your greater purpose. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, take this opportunity to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of the special content we're preparing. And if these messages truly touched your heart, if you felt it was made especially for you, consider supporting this work by becoming a channel member. Every bit of support makes a huge difference and allows us to continue bringing you this life-changing content. Leave a comment telling us which of these 9 tests resonated with you the most, which one you're feeling most strongly in your life right now. And share this video with that friend or family member who is also a Libra and needs to receive these confirmations. Now I want to ask you one final question. After everything you've heard here, what will your attitude be going forward? Will you continue to be afraid, doubtful, feeling trapped in your current situation? Or will you lift your head, strengthen your faith, and actively prepare to receive all the blessings the universe is preparing for you? The choice is yours. But know that on this side, I believe in you, I believe in your potential, I believe you will live this new stage with all the greatness it deserves. So take a deep breath, renew your confidence, and walk with faith, because the best days of your life are coming. Thank you for being here, and until the next video.